Okay, so big scary orc battle wagon, 14 armored, 12 on the side. It can be hard to pop, especially with orcs. So, assuming these bikes turbo boosted 24 inches last turn. Okay, battle wagon moved up. He's not going to move towards the bikes because he's got bigger, more important things to fry over here. And the bikes could even maybe be a bit further back, but they're just coming around the side. And so, I mean, you just see those few bikes. No big deal. People underestimate bikes a lot. And so now it's your turn. And so you can move 12 inches. Okay, which again is quite far. You just move up nice, and now it depends. In a battle wagon, there's probably gonna be 20 boys. So the guys inside the bikes are definitely not going to want to assault it. Okay, but for example, say it's a wave serpent and there's a bunch of dire avengers in it, or anything. So they can probably shoot the crap out of the bikes. So you might even want to charge, and so that in that case you just be a little closer, because now here's the awesomeness about the bike. So they move up, strength 5 against tough or back armor 10. Odds are, honestly, that you're going to blow it up, or you're going to do some serious damage. Okay, so in the decent, there's a decent chance that you will blow it up, and so you shoot it. Okay, so it blows up, everything unloads right here. Poor Storm Boy. There's this one guy in there. And so now he unloads. Now your bikes are within 6 inches. They can charge. And so all of a sudden, your bikes are charging and they're tied up. And so it works especially good against Eldar, but any other kind of army, or like maybe even Dark Eldar as well, where they want to be very maneuverable, or like Tau, for example, where they're just moving around. And so you can just kind of flip up their flank. You can shoot them, and fantastic. And when they're more of a shooty army inside of their vehicles, when you turbo boost up here, when you have a 3+ save, they're like, well, I don't want to shoot them with a 3+ save. I don't want to get out and shoot them with a 3+ save because I won't kill as many as I want. And then next turn they'll be able to shoot and charge me and kill me. And so they just kind of wait in their vehicles, or they kind of skirt around a bit more. And so that next turn when you unexpectedly pop their vehicle and you can charge them, and it's wonderful. Worst case scenario, you don't break open the vehicle. You probably did some damage. You cause it so they can't shoot at least from it, so they cause them to come out. But honestly, most of the time you will pop it. And so bikes are great. And if you think about it, next turn, if they are getting shot up or whatever, you don't want them there. Turbo boost 24 inches. And you're gone. To wherever you want to be. You can just, they're very maneuverable, very fun. Again, I love fast attack choices. And lastly, if you want to bring a big squad of 12 boys, 12 bikers, Warbikers, then that's totally fine too. Again, it gets a bit more expensive, but with 12 Warbikers, you're a lot more tough. You're a lot more, you're fearless now because you got the mob rule, and you can take a lot more hits, and it's a much bigger presence on the board. You're no longer this like skirting around, like picking, like it's just like, you're just like, I'm a big force, I'm something to reckon with, and I'm here. And you're super fast still. And the amount of shots that you shell out with 12 Warbikers is just, the Tactica, oh my goodness. And so I love bringing 12 as well if I can fit in my list. They're a bit more clumsy because there's just so much more of them, so it's harder to get around terrain sometimes. But it allows you a lot more flexibility in that when there's those squads that you can flank around and get to and charge, you can charge a lot bigger squads now because you have more boys and you can do more damage. And so you can still kill like the vehicles, but just as well, honestly, it's your power class killing vehicles, unless they're back armor 10. Then you'll need at least 12 to 15, 20 boys to get enough like 6s and then 6s again to do anything. But, so you can't do it. So they're not that much more effective against vehicles, a little more than like say a 6 squad or even a 3 squad. But against other troop choices, like whatever, their heavy support guys that are sitting back and shelling shots at you, the infantry, you can do a lot more. You feel a lot more confident on the board, and you can even take a charge sometimes. Like, obviously you don't want to. You want to make sure that you always get the charge, but it just, the amount of Tactica that bikes have is just so much fun. And so keep them out of combat until the absolute perfect moment. Then of course charge in. But it's just utilize the strength of bikes, of their fast moving, their turbo boosting, and if they're gonna stay there and die and maybe kill one more guy, then just turbo boost them away. Just run them away and they'll be able to do something, because the knob is the last one to die in your squad. Unless you roll terrible, terrible luck on a couple dangerous terrain tests and the knob dies. Most often though, the knob is the last one to die. And so if you even have just one guy left in your Warbiker squad, and he's gonna die and you can't reliably kill something, run him away temporarily. I know it's very un-orc-like, but just run him behind the terrain, just get him out, and so they turn their focus, attack something else, and then he comes in again and kills that one more vehicle. It gets that extra kill point, gets that nasty other vehicle off your objective that was contesting it, or whatever, or you can just go in and contest an objective. Unfortunately, you won't be able to capture objectives unless you bring Tactica. And so that's the only difference, is when you bring Tactica as a HQ choice, is that your Warbikers now are troop choices, like all of them, not just one of them, all of them. And so with all of them as troop choices, you have that freedom of being able to, you want your Warbikers, first of all, they're a lot more important in objective games, a lot more important to keep alive. And you don't want to be skirting around so much, you want to bring in those bigger squads. You probably won't want to, you could. It depends on how you want to play it. So you can capture objectives, and so you just got to be aware of that. And those last turn turbo boosts towards an objective, it's very fun to watch, because it's like, okay, well, I have this objective, 24, it's a long ways. It's like a full 2 feet, and 2 feet plus 3 inches, because you only have to be within 3. So it's like, so you can, all of a sudden the whole center of the board is yours, as long as you zone out his guys. And if you get last turn, perfect. If not, still makes it a lot more difficult for anyone to hold and claim objectives. So Warbikers, at the end, they're lots of fun, bring them, and they are actually very tactically sound and competitive if you use them right. And so it took me a while to learn how to use them. And although I've basically told you how to use them, when you're playing, it still takes a little while to get the correct feel of them down. But when you do, it's just loads of fun and great times with the Warbikers. So next fast attack choice is the War Buggies, so click right here for a link to watch that video.